I want to talk today about something that has honestly been a game changer for me: micro workouts. If you're like me, someone who deals with health anxiety, the idea of exercise can sometimes feel overwhelming. We know we need it. We read all the research about how exercise helps prevent heart disease, cancer, diabetes, dementia, all the things that tend to set off our alarms, but the thought of carving out an hour for the gym can be intimidating. Sometimes I even worry that if I'm not doing a full workout, it doesn't really count. But that's where micro workouts come in, and they've completely changed the way I think about exercise and health. So what exactly are micro workouts? They're basically short bursts of exercise, usually anywhere from 30 seconds to 10 minutes, that you can sprinkle throughout your day. And here's the thing that reassured me. Science shows that these small, consistent movements can be just as beneficial, sometimes even more beneficial, than one long session at the gym, even more beneficial than one long session at the gym. That's right. Breaking exercise into little chunks still gives you real health benefits. You don't need a marathon to protect your health. You just need consistency. For people like us who are constantly worried about heart health, brain health, and preventing disease, micro workouts offer something really comforting: proof that even small actions count. One study found that just a few minutes of vigorous activity a day, like climbing the stairs or doing bodyweight squats, significantly lowers the risk of premature death. And we're not talking about hours here, we're talking minutes. That's huge. One of the most obvious benefits of micro workouts is heart health. Cardiovascular disease is one of those things I'm always hyper aware of. I've read that lack of activity is one of the biggest risk factors, and that can be scary if you spend a lot of your day sitting. But research has shown that short bursts of movement, like standing up and walking briskly for a couple of minutes every half hour, can improve blood sugar levels, blood pressure, and overall cardiovascular health. That means you don't have to obsess about fitting in a huge workout. Even these micro movements are literally protecting your heart and circulation. Then there's metabolism. One thing I always worry about is weight gain, because it ties into so many other health risks: diabetes, joint problems, and even cancer. Micro workouts keep your metabolism active throughout the day. Every time you stand up to do a set of push-ups, or you do a quick round of jumping jacks, you're nudging your body to burn calories and improve insulin sensitivity. That constant metabolic reminder is really helpful for long-term health. And let's not forget the brain. If you're anything like me, you've probably worried at some point about dementia or cognitive decline. That's one of those terrifying health topics that's always hovering in the back of my mind. But exercise, even in small doses, has been shown to improve brain function. When you move, your body increases blood flow to the brain and releases growth factors that help protect neurons. Some studies suggest that just 10 minutes of light movement can improve memory and focus. That means those little workouts you squeeze in aren't just keeping your body healthy, they're literally protecting your brain from the very things we fear most. Micro workouts also help with stress, and if you suffer from health anxiety, you know how important that is. Sometimes I'll get stuck in a spiral of worry, Googling symptoms, convincing myself that every ache or twinge is something serious. But if I stop and do 2 minutes of jumping rope, or even just 20 bodyweight squats, my whole mental state changes. Exercise releases endorphins, which are natural mood lifters, and it lowers cortisol, the stress hormone that can wreak havoc on our bodies. I've noticed that even a tiny burst of exercise can reset my nervous system and help me step away from that anxious loop. Now, here's where it gets practical. You might be wondering, what kinds of micro workouts should you do? The truth is, it doesn't have to be complicated. You don't need equipment, you don't need a gym, and you don't need to be an athlete. Some of the simplest options are the best. Think push-ups, squats, lunges, planks, burpees, or even just brisk walking. If you like to keep it even lighter, marching in place or doing wall sites work great too. The key is intensity. If you only have a minute, make it count by putting in some effort. One of my favorite tricks is something I call commercial break training. If I'm watching TV, every time there's a break, I'll do a set of push-ups or squats. That way, I'm pairing something I enjoy with a little bit of movement. It's such a small thing, but it adds up. Another one I love is stair sprints, just running up and down the stairs in my house 2 or 3 times. That takes less than a minute, but it gets my heart pumping and reassures me that I'm doing something for my cardiovascular health right now. You can also make micro workouts part of your daily routine in ways that don't even feel like exercise. Take the stairs instead of the elevator. Do calf raises while brushing your teeth. Drop down for 10 push-ups before you hop in the shower. Walk briskly around the block during your lunch break. I used to think that unless I was dripping in sweat after an hour-long workout, I wasn't doing enough. But now, I realize that these small actions throughout the day create a foundation of health that is just as powerful. Something else that gives me a lot of reassurance is that micro workouts are actually safer in many ways. If you're someone who worries about injury or overexertion, doing short, manageable bouts of exercise reduces the strain on your joints and lowers the risk of pushing yourself too hard. For people like us, who might already be hyper-aware of every little sensation in the body, this is comforting. You can move, get the benefits, and avoid the stress of overdoing it. And here's an unexpected benefit: consistency. When you're anxious about health, it's easy to fall into an all-or-nothing mindset. You think, if I can't work out for an hour, why bother? But micro workouts take away that excuse. You can always find 2 minutes. That means you're more likely to stick with it long term, and the science is clear. Consistency matters more than intensity when it comes to health outcomes. If you're worried about heart disease, diabetes, or even cancer, one of the most empowering things you can do is take control of your daily activity. Micro workouts are a way to prove to yourself that you're fighting back, that you're not just sitting around letting fear take over. Every little burst of movement is like a shield, building resilience in your body. And as someone who has spent way too much time worrying about every possible disease, I can tell you, having that sense of control is priceless. If you want to build a simple plan, here's what I suggest. Aim for 3 to 5 micro workouts each day. They can be as short as 1 minute or as long as 10. Mix them up, some strength-based like push-ups, some cardio-based like jumping jacks, and some flexibility-based like stretches. That way you're hitting all aspects of health without it ever feeling like a chore. By the end of the day, you might have racked up 20 or 30 minutes of solid movement without even realizing it. The most important thing I've learned is that health doesn't have to be complicated. We don't need perfection. We don't need hours at the gym, we just need to move. Micro workouts are a reminder that small steps count. And for people like us, who can easily fall into the trap of fear and overthinking, this is a lifeline. Every time I do a micro workout, I'm telling myself, you're doing something good for your heart, your brain, your body. You're taking action instead of getting lost in worry. So, if you're struggling with health anxiety like I am, give micro workouts a try. Start small, stay consistent, and remind yourself that even tiny efforts are building protection against the very health issues that keep us up at night. I can honestly say that micro workouts have not only improved my fitness, but they've also given me a powerful tool to calm my anxiety and feel like I'm taking control of my health. And in the end, that peace of mind might be the greatest benefit of all,